I was diagnosed at the age of 4. And it went through until 14. It was when I had my, when the surgery was performed. But my heart attacks went at the age of 10. So, like the severe heart attacks, but then consistent heart failure. So, it was really a period of about 10 years
Hmm.
where I was learning to cope really because there was no cure in sight. At the time, there was not
Yep.
research necessary. Well, there was a lot, no, not much research in heart disease with
Mm.
women at the time, and less with children. Usually, anything with heart disease in children was a structural thing.
Hmm.
For me, it wasn't a structure; it was an electrical problem. And it really, we are made of energy and heart. So, and without the precise tools and things of really electricity in the heart, that's what made it that much more. How do you manage this, right? I mean, they tried everything. What I found it interesting is that again later on as I'm learning, well, I didn't know what that the heart did what it did. It's later
Mm.
on I learned like, oh, okay, well, there's these nodes, and they were trying to get rid of these nodes, right? Like the nodes that made the heart spark and beat. I mean, that's what really makes our heartbeat is energy basically short circuit every time. I had too
The
many of those,
Energizer Bunny, right?
right? And that was the thing. Mine, it was too many. And it wasn't like, and they were sparking out of rhythm, right? There were so many. So that goes to tell everybody you can have too much of a good thing. So like, so like, so in my case, they needed to be burned. They needed to stop. And I find myself so much because I realized that the cure for me once not to give me more things, actually was to take away things. It was to create that
Hmm.
clarity, to create that pathway, which is what I found again in what I do and what I love to do is much is also seeing how can we create that clarity, how can we all this made things that we need for life, right? Like the nodes, the electricity, but be able to put them in a way where they're working for you and not working against you.
100%. Now, you're involved in many things after this. I mean, you've developed your life after that, and you've moved on, and you're involved in many aspect of things.
Hmm.
The John Maxwell team, I guess you're still with
Yes.
those guys.
Yes.
Heartonomics Enterprise, that's the
My
communication company that you created,
Yes.
and also a member of the board of directors for Sir Familia Inc. I guess we'll get to know them a little bit. And there's something called Faculty. That's the Maxwell also, right?
Correct. I'm faculty with the
So, what is? Let's start with the Maxwell team. What is that? I'm
Oh,
not familiar with it.
so John Maxwell, he's well known for his books. He's got over 65 books, considered a leadership guru. I actually was introduced to his material when I was in a hospital as a teenager. And funny thing is that his headquarters was also in Georgia. And actually, one of my first leadership events, as you would call, was when I was able to attend a recording of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, which is what he's the book that he's very well known for. So he helps leaders to he has about a certification for about 56,000 coaches right now worldwide, and it's about valuing others, adding value to them through leadership systems.
And you've been with them quite a bit now, 5 years, right?
Yeah, since 2017. I was
Yeah.
certified with them in
Oh, okay.
17. Yeah.
Okay. And so what is Heartonomics then? Is that like connected to it, or this is your independent?
Well, Hartnomics came after I sold. I had a publishing company, so about 15 years. Sold that and started doing what I had already started doing, helping other people through the industry. And what happened was that in publishing, we went through market disruption back about in about 2009, 2010, similar to what had happened to the media industry. And I had the opportunity not only to go through that, that's where a lot of my learning points came. A lot of my failures and learning points came from going through disruption in leadership and also in the business. So that's where I got to get equipped with becoming a black belt in Six Sigma, continuous improvements, and not only learning this theory or this stuff, but actually had to put it into place. So Harnomics came out of having served in the industry